நாடாளுமன்ற மக்களவையில் மத்திய அமைச்சர் நிர்மலா சீதாராமன் பேசி வருகிறார். அந்த நேரலை காட்சிகளை பார்ப்போம்.
பொருளாதார
contraction, but what I would say,
பிரச்சனைகளை எதிர்கொண்டது.
No country had any comparator. They couldn't have anything before them to compare what they could do now, what resulted now.
எந்த நாடுகளும் நாம் என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும் இதற்கு மேல் என்பதை பற்றி யோசிக்கவில்லை.
Memory, if we were to look at a global economic crisis which also had an impact on Indian economy, it was the global financial crisis. I'll just like to do a comparison between what was the economy then and what was our solutions for that, and what is the economy now and what solutions we gave for this one. Sir, in a way, the global financial crisis resulted in a reduced gain because it wasn't a negative growth. It was still a small growth, but it was a constricted growth. The reduced gain in the in the GDP was 2.21 lakh crores in 2008 and 9. Compared to that, the lost GDP now is 9.57 lakh crores. So that is the extent to which we have lost in this pandemic compared to the recently, meaning a decade ago, the global financial crisis. That resulted in 2.212 lakh, whereas now the reduction was far more, it is 9.57 lakh crore. Despite, sorry? I'll tell you. So despite significant supply side disruptions, India's CPI inflation, I'm picking that up for a minute, was 6.2% in 2020-21 as compared to 9.1% in 2008-9.6 at the intensity and the scope and the depths to which Indian economy had to contract. We lost 9.57 lakh crores worth in this global financial crisis, whereas the loss earlier, which is the global financial crisis, was 2.12 lakhs crore. But the CPI inflation now, because I'm purposely bringing this, because CPI inflation is the index with which we measure how prices affect common man. It's the consumer price index. Now that contracted only 6.2 now, whereas for a smaller contraction, which was not even a negative contraction in the global financial crisis period, the inflation, the CPI was 9.1%. What does it mean? That today, in spite of this intense crisis, in spite of the reduction in the GDP to the extent of 9.57 lakh crores, the CPI is well contained and it is only 6.2%, showing that we have managed the economy much better now than it's easy to say now, than a smaller crisis of that time when the contraction was only 2.12 lakh. And that led to 9.1% inflation. The CPI was 9.1%. So